Okay,
Great.
so welcome to the first episode of the Brickcast. The goal of the Brickcast podcast is essentially to create a podcast that Brickhill users can go to look at events from Brickhill's history, use the sentiment at the time, and basically just an explanation of what happened and other generally informative stuff. A second goal of the podcast is so you can see kind of the opinions of some really old Brickhill users because, the hosts are me, of course, Dysphoria, and then there's Blocky, and then there's Rag. Blocky and Rag are both beta users. I've essentially been around since beta. I've known about the site since then, although I did join a bit after that. There's a Discord. If you look at the screen right now, you can see a Discord link where you can come on and join the Brickcast Discord server. You can also turn on subscription notifications and subscribe to the channel to get notified of new updates. And there's also merchandise links in the description if you want to support us. The first topic of discussion in this episode is basically going to be... Okay, so basically on this episode of the podcast we are going to be discussing the stories of how we found Brickhill, how we felt at the time, and how we feel now about Brickhill to start off with. So Blocky, if you want to start with that.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, it's the way I found Brick-Hill was completely unorthodox. Usually the whole story for the old users is finding it through BloxCity, stuff like that. But, again, my origin story came from BloxCity, as most of you guys did. But the thing is that I knew Treacherous, Brick Luke at the time. We spoke a lot. We were friends, I'd say. And later on, like I'd say a couple of months later on after I met him, he mentioned like a project of his, Brick-Hill, right? This project seemed very, very promising. At the time, I'm sure you must have seen it. It's like the proto Brick-Hill was like a type of reddish Lego type. That's when I found it. Around late 2016, he told me about it. And at the time, it's kind of cool. It had a little counter to see how many visits. It had around 300. Anyways, so I knew about Brick-Hill then. That's how I found it. The Brick Luke told me directly on it. But the thing is that I wasn't able to create an account at the time because only a very few amount of people were allowed, aka Brick Luke's close friends, people that knew what they were doing. So like Tech with asset creation and Zaya with site creation itself, and just stuff like that. So later on, fast forward maybe 3 months, I realized that, oh no, BloxCity is closing. Oh no, that's not good. But the moment that happened, like Brick Luke told me, hey, Brick-Hill is opening in a couple of days. Want to join the beta team? Like, sure thing. So after that, maybe 2 to 3 days later, he the site Brick-Hill has already opened. Basically, Tech has already sent a bunch of people emails, but since I don't check my email often, I didn't see the key because I didn't see it. So later on that exact day, I told Brick Luke on Skype, "Hey, is Brick-Hill gonna open soon?" He's like, "Oh, is it? Oh yeah, sure, I'll open it." And then he checks Brick-Hill, nobody opened. So he's like, okay, wait a sec, I gotta fix things, I gotta do things. And then a couple of hours later, the site wipes itself because they had such thing as pre-wipe and after wipe during the I was never able to experience pre-wipe. Rag did here. Anyways, he'll get into that later. And there you go. He makes my account, and I get to log in with my key that he made. Another bonus thing. Peanut too got in from personal invitation because I told Brick Luke, hey, want to make Peanut an account? He said sure, lol, and he generated the key for Peanut, and she was able to make an account, but she wasn't active for a year later. There you go. That's how I personally found Brick-Hill. Right? Want to go?
All right. So my story of how I found Brick-Hill is much more akin to the most beta users. So one day I was just perusing the BloxCity forums, and then I found a thread made by Chetris, or as you all know him, Brick Luke. And he was like saying something about Brick-Hill, and he like linked the beta invitation link. So I decided to register with my email. Actually, I registered with 2 emails because I was impatient and didn't understand how beta invites worked. So just a few months later, I received an email in my first email that I registered on. It had, the beta key and stuff. So I tried to register onto Brick-Hill with the username of Rag and, with my beta key. And it didn't work at first because there's a bug where, if you had a 3-letter username, the site just wouldn't let you in, but it also used your beta key, which was stupid. So, but luckily, since I registered with 2 emails, I went to the second email and then got that beta code and put it in, and then I registered with RAG with 2 G's instead of 1. And I was successfully able to register. Now, I didn't get to experience, the old site that much. It's very fuzzy. I think I was only there for like an hour or two. But I do remember there being like I do remember someone wearing the hairdo item. I don't know why I remember that, but yeah, that's basically how I found Brick Hill. I feel that Brick Hill now is very good. It's gone very far since the old site in 2017, and that's about it.
Okay, yeah, so I'll go now. The way I found Brick-Hill is definitely not as exciting as the way Blocky found Brick-Hill. His way is like enthralling. But the way I found Brick-Hill was long story. So basically, around sometime in 2016, the YouTuber Kaneko Kitten, which some of you might have actually joined Brick-Hill from in 2019, actually made a video on BloxCity. I don't know if any of you remember that. That was like in the really olden days of their channel, and I think it's unlisted or deleted now. But yeah, they made a video on BloxCity, so I decided to join that website a few months after they made the video. And one day I was just browsing the BloxCity forums, and I saw Brick Luke's post talking about this game he was working on, called Brick-Hill, and he posted an image, and if I recall correctly, it had like a render of the hacked lampshade hat, which was called the Matrix lampshade at the time, and I remember replying to that saying it was a cool hat, and I explicitly remember him saying something along the lines of it might not exist when it's officially released. And I also saw a thread where it was advertising beta signups, but I couldn't actually join at the time because I already missed the period where you could submit your email to get a beta key. So basically I was just waiting for a couple of months, and I couldn't even pay for beta because I didn't have a PayPal account at the time. So obviously I waited until the end of I waited until April 15th, the day of public release, but then the final countdown page came on, but that was a bit too long, so basically I just went to bed and joined the next day. As for how I felt about Brick-Hill at the time, I didn't have too much hope in it, if I'm being honest, because BloxCity had basically just announced it was shutting down, so I didn't really expect Brick-Hill to last that long. So I was a bit pessimistic about Brick-Hill at the start, but seeing how far Brick-Hill has come now is really, really inspiring, because Space Builder basically took this game that was basically nothing, and the team has really worked it up into a state where it has so much potential to really explode and become its own game separate from Roblox. You know, Brick-Hill can really become something more than just a Roblox clone and more of its own unique identity. That's what I really like about Brick-Hill now.
And also,
Go ahead, Blocky.
yeah, okay. I forgot to go over my thoughts about the whole entire thing of Brick-Hill at the time. Apologies on that. But let me just explain it now. At the time, again, same thing as Rebecca, I really didn't think it would last maybe a month or two, maybe 3, right? Because again, my experiences with the entire thing because of BloxCity's closure was entirely soured. I was still distraught, still trying to get over the whole fact that I lost a whole year's worth of work. So same thing. But again, I still had just a little bit of hope that I would survive and thrive, of course. And from that, and that little bit of hope built on. And it's very inspiring. Like the fact that a little site, a little project created by a friend of mine was able to just achieve such heights, man. It's just great, and I'm very very much happy with it. And in the future, the future is bright. That's all I can say about it. With the new clients, with the different marketing strategies are in play, possible different switches to sites. Yes, it's potential is there for sure.
I want to just go in more depth about my feelings on Brick-Hill then and now. And back in the day, I signed up for Brick-Hill because back in the day, for some reason, I was very interested in Roblox, like, clones or rip-offs and stuff. So that's why I signed up for it, and when I signed up for it, it felt weird. Like, it had a site design that I haven't seen before, and it was just very unique. It was much different than the others I've seen. And how I feel about it now is that I'm amazed. I'm amazed Brick-Hill has lasted for over 4 years, and it has not shut down once or had to close for a long period of time. The closest it's gotten to it is in 2017 when the whole database thing happened. We'll get into that later. But anyways, I'm just surprised. Like, I really think that everything's lining up for Brick-Hill to become big. I think it's going to be a great game. Or platform, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. I those are my thoughts exactly. Like things.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Right. Just took the words right on my mouth here. And again, yeah, there had a couple of moments. They had a couple of very rough moments during Brick-Hill's life. Like another thing, summer of 2017 was.
Oh my god, summer
very
2017.
close.
The site
Yeah.
was so dead back in summer 2017.
Yeah, like
nobody logged on.
moments where I would be the only user on the site for hours.
Yeah, so
It's like
basically, for some of you like 2021ers or 2020ers who are like watching Brickcast right now, so to give you some context. In like early Brick-Hill, ton of users like migrated from BloxCity and Graphic-Toria over to the website, so there was a lot of hype surrounding the game. And then in summer, that kind of like just all died off, and there was like maybe 1 or 2, if you were lucky, 5 users online at once.
Exactly, which there's a couple of contributing factors. First was the old client, the one before the legacy one, the one in 2017. That client, right, was simply put awful. Like it wouldn't be able to run anything really.
Yeah, it couldn't even load meshes. Like it just had faces. It didn't have hats. It didn't have shirts. It didn't have pants. It just had t-shirts. Just had t-shirts and faces. That was the client.
And another thing, the servers, right? You wouldn't be able to have one stationary game. You'd have to have a host constantly on, changing the games constantly. Like back then it was a whole process. Brick-Luke had to choose very trustworthy people to be able to obtain servers. Luckily, I was one of them, so I know how it was all hosted and things. And the funny thing is that, if ever there wasn't a host there, if ever there wasn't anyone there constantly, it would be dead.
Yeah, there was just no games.
Yeah, the games are just completely non-existent. The only way you would be able to host a game or whatever is if you would be able to find a BRK that was extremely rare. Actually, back then, I remember BRKs are so rare.
Yeah, you used to sell them, didn't you?
Sell them, yeah. Game packs. Yeah, I used to have around, I think, 50 games, 80, some 50 to 10, I don't know, I forget how many.
It was a lot for the time.
I had, at the time, yes, it was a lot. So I was able to scour a bunch of stuff, especially me, because I was a server host. So people would send me their games so that I would host them.
And then you would just sell them.
All of them into a game pack, right? And I sold them for like, what? I think $10 a piece, which at the time was like, imagine $1,000.
There were a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot since nobody really bought books.
For reference, at the time, donating was like, it was something stupid like, I don't know, $10 for $10 or something.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
It was just dumb. Maybe $10 for $100 if you were lucky. I think that might have been it actually. It was like a tenth of the current exchange rate, to say the least.
It's ridiculous. And want to know who was my biggest buyer? Bane. I don't know what happened to him, but at the time I remember he was literally the richest user. Like nobody could peak him because he was the first one to have bought Royal.
Yeah,
He was the
Yeah.
first. He had multiple memberships even. So he was at the top there. So I was able to sell games to him, game packs. And the sad thing is that I was in the deal with him. I was making a trade hangout type thing with the old workshop, and then he just disappeared. That is
yeah,
exactly
he
when he
just dropped
disappeared.
off the face of the earth, never to be seen again.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
disappeared. I don't know where he went. He's offline now for like literally 4 years at this point, 3.
He's also banned on the site.
Yeah. Oh yes. Another thing. The bans. For all like the users and stuff like that. This is off topic though, from the whole Brick-Hill thing. But, old users now have been banned. Oh, a bunch of old ones like the fish, PP Psych, right? All that stuff. I just found that interesting and willing to note.
Yeah, that was
It's-
a bug due to Jeff and me migrating to a new system, apparently. That caused them to
Yeah.
get banned.
Yeah, actually, since at the time, this is I had a couple of contraband things when I old Brick-Hill. Like at the time, you're only allowed maybe three alts. Right?
Yeah, there was an alt limit, I remember that.
And I didn't care.
Yeah,
mean,
I
like,
had at
30
least
alts.
like 10 alts.
Yeah, I had at least like 30 or something, and a good majority of my alts at the time were no just banned. They're banned because of the whole site integration thing.
Yep.
Kind of wacky.
About the old client, like the 2017 like old client, like the client we have now is just so much better. Like I'm so glad
Oh, yeah.
we've made so much innovations, like
Like,
Node
truly.
Hill and stuff.
Like,
Yeah, that's
another
right.
thing, Note Hill and the contributions created by Smart Lion. Extremely smart guy. Props to him. Without him, the client would still be an unoptimized, piece of hot garbage. But he made it so that bricks can be loaded perfectly. Games are just loaded very fast now. Just props
Yes,
to him.
Dragonian and Smart Lion have honestly made some incredible contributions, especially considering like the limits of the old client and the game maker engine. Like the fact that Dragonian created a server in Node.js for Brick-Hill of all things is just remarkable. Especially considering the old host for Brick-Hill. Like, I don't think I have to explain how terrible the old host was, not just in terms of security vulnerabilities, but like limitations on what you can do. Since with
Like-
Node JavaScript, you can install basically any NPM module you want to use in your games.
And like nowadays, just it's so much better. I'm surprised of what people have done with the client. I thought nothing much could be done with it, but no, people have made like physics with it even. Client side, but
Exactly, yeah,
still.
A good noteworthy mention of this is Noah Coolboy's physics simulation game with the balls and stuff like that. That's really cool. I like the way that he uses projectiles, and I'm telling you, if this would not have been possible with the old host, like the balls would just be going way too slow for any progress to be done. But see, those are things that are possible even without the new client. People around the community are still finding ways to push Brick-Hills to its absolute limits, and it's insane.
Brick-Hill is the new Half-Life.
Okay.
Anyways, let's talk about BloxCity.
Oh, BloxCity.
Oh man.
Oh, this is very entrenched in most Brick-Hillians, like older Brick-Hillians experiences.
I don't even have a lot to say about BloxCity, to be honest. It's mostly a blur for me, but I'm sure you two will have a ton to say about it.
Oh yeah. I have a lot to say about it.
Okay, I'll let Rag begin because he's a known user. He's been around the block since like it first began. So yeah, speak ahead, Rag.
Alright, so BloxCity was a very interesting thing. It was quite an oddity. And fun fact, BloxCity releasing on the 6th of March in 2016 was a mistake. So how I found it is, just a forum thread on Roblox is off topic, and I joined it because, my the eagerness for sites like that. Anyways, like it was very interesting. I remember Steampunk Top Hat. I always wanted to get it, but I knew I couldn't because it was expensive as hell, like 10,000 coins or something like that. Now, I remember like collectibles releasing while I was at school, and I was just like so mad at myself for not like just not getting them because like a royal fedora and those golden sunglasses, I love those items and I still do nowadays. Like it was just a weird time. Like the community was also really just it was an interesting thing. Like it was probably one of the nicer communities to be honest compared to the others like Roblox. Uh and like now I have one memory from Block City. It's where I got Arcanus Sicarius, like a purple little hood thing that went
Oh
over
yeah, I
your
remember
head.
that.
And I made the stupid decision of trading it for a light blue royal fedora, which was glitched out, so the stock was like 80.
You
So
did
I just
not do
made a
that.
huge loss.
Another
It
Do
thing.
was,
not do
Me?
that.
I am traumatized from that event.
Yeah. Another thing, another wacky decision deal that I did. This is completely off topic. Well, not off topic, but I traded the Arcanus Sicarius for get this Regia Fur.
Why?
Oh my god, that's just the worst Sicarius.
No, it's not even a Sicarius, honestly.
not.
Regia Fur, something else. And I've
Yeah.
always wanted it. I've always wanted it since I was like April 26th. I've always wanted that one hat, so I was able to get it. But again, that's such a wacky decision. I just thought I'd mention it.
Do you know what trade I got for my Arcanus? Black Royal Fedora, which turned out to be more expensive than Arcanus. It was from Slurp, pretty sure, so.
And also with the Regia Fur, I ended up trading that. Yeah, again, this is just keeps getting worse and worse. I traded Regia Fur for Bean Shades.
Why?
Oh my. Why? God!
It was an awful trader. But again, Bean Shades was another thing I wanted there, Anyway.
Fail trader or fail trader.
Trader.
On the topic of trades, I actually completed. This was in like early 2017 or something on BloxCity. I literally like completed a trade that was just so stupid. I don't like not for me, but for them. I have no idea why they like sent me this. So basically, somebody sent me a trade of like 4 of those red starry headphones, which were pretty much worthless because there was so many of them. Somebody sent me green top hat for them. I think it was Millionaire.
Oh my god.
I don't know why Millionaire sent me that, but that was like my main item on Block City because I was so poor. I just wore that.
Oh yeah, I think I remember having green top hat too. It was fucking great.
Oh, well, want to know what another thing that was great? The blue top hat. I wanted that stupid blue top hat again ever since I like joined it or even knew about it. Like it was just so rare, man.
By the way, I'm pretty sure the shades, like the golden sunglasses from Block City, use the same mesh as the ones on Brick-Hill because they're both made by Tech.
Oh, most likely. There's a couple of reused Brick-Hill assets, of course. Most notably is the old Bach hat.
The old.
Oh man,
The one that looks like an egg, created by Telemus. Oh, that was.
That was something.
That was like a wacky hat indeed. Anyways, continue with your origin, Block City origin story real quick.
Anyways, so stuff like, things happened. I think I actually had the longest username on Block City, so long that it exceeded the character limit when it was implemented. I'm not gonna share it because I don't like it, but it was like, I think 22 characters long or something. So, but then I changed it to, RAG, the 3-letter username, because I thought 3 letters were cool. Because, every dumb kid thinks that.
And then you stuck with it.
Yep, I've stuck with it ever since.
All right. So, can I go?
Yes,
the
you
whole-
can, Blocky.
Yeah.
All right. So, BloxCity, the way I found it was, again, like the way I find things are completely unorthodox. It's just really weird. But, you know the new user machine from Dummies?
Yeah, I know that game.
That game, yes. I played it back in like 2016. I joined it at the perfect time, right? I was just, because I was just looking for new users and stuff like that. I really like the whole game. I visited it very regularly, so I joined it, and they had a whole group of people, right? So I went over there. I joined the conversation. Right? So there's two random things that happened. After that, they mentioned BloxCity, right then and there. And I said, "Hey, what's BloxCity?" And then they kind of explained it to me. And another thing, so I basically joined the right Roblox game at the right time, joined the right conversation, and said the right question. And from that, I joined BloxCity, and then that's the origins. And funnily enough, I remember my exact ID, 19505. Anyways, and Peanuts was 19506 because the moment I found BloxCity, I was very excited. I wanted to show Peanuts, so I went upstairs because I was at the basement at the time, and I told Peanut to make an account because I wanted her to just join around the same time. So she did, and she did nothing on BloxCity. Same thing how she did nothing between 2017 and 2018. Nothing at all. Anyways, so on that very day, I made two shirts. The one shirt was very wacky. It was like a Galaxy PNG copied over and over and over and over and over again. Really weird. And I told, "Hey, you want to buy my shirt? Want to buy my shirt, my Galaxy shirt?" And it was like, "No, your shirt is garbage. Go away." Anyways, so then,
What do you like to?
Again, April 26th. That was my first shirt, and I was very discouraged. But after that, after that commentary, I made a new one because I didn't like that one anymore. I made the one that I wear now, actually. The iconic Blocky shirt, because at the time I was very, very poor. Like I had no money. I had like maybe 10 coins to my name. I couldn't find any cool clothes I could buy that I wanted. So I just made a cool little tuxedo. I copied and pasted a bunch of buttons and stuff like that. I made it mine. It took me about an hour to perfect the whole design to it, and I uploaded it. And there you go. That's the origin of those shirts right there.
Now look where you are now, selling special versions for $50 each.
Yes. 50 and the main one for 100.
Yep.
And at the time, it's very funny because people wouldn't even spend like 1 coin on it. Like 5 coins, because back then I used to try to advertise to get some coins. Maybe I got 1 bought, and that was by Serbi, I think, the person with the 2 personalities. I don't know if you remember the guy, but he was very popular at the time. I liked his whole gimmick, Serbia. He had he like spoke in 2 personalities. Very, very cool guy, and he was the one that helped me a bit. Anyways,
yeah, BloxCity had a ton of those gimmick accounts, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot of gimmick users. Like I remember Mum especially. And
I remember Dog.
I remember Serbia for sure. Remember Dog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to know who Dog is?
Yeah, it's my bucket.
It's my bucket from Brick-Hill, and the one that made the Roblox game, like helped make Purple Skittles and all that type of stuff. Yeah,
Juraker.
Yeah, Joker.
Yep.
Anyways, so from that's where the origins where my BloxCity shirt is. It's as old as me, not as me, but my presence on these types of games. Anyways, so a couple of funny stories. The Lesits necklace. Do you remember those? It's like a necklace with an L, right? That one.
Yo.
It crashed, right? The site crashed.
Yeah, it was so funny. It was so fitting.
It completely screwed up, and I was very angry. I wanted those shades. I kept refreshing, and yeah, I wanted them. I wanted those. Did I say shades? I mean necklace. So I got it eventually. And later on, want to know what type of trade I got?
What?
Blizzard's necklace for Arcanus Sicarius.
Oh my
I
god.
kid you not.
Let me
I
guess.
kid you
Let
not.
me guess, you declined.
I accepted.
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Arcanus
Yeah.
is better.
And then I traded up Arcanus for Radiant and Beans. Anyways,
It's stupid.
but back then on BloxCity, I used to frequent the forums quite often. Actually, I had around 3,000 posts. It's not much. It's not the most, but yeah, I was on the forums quite often.
I
Because
think.
what else? Am I supposed to be playing games? Ha! What a funny joke.
BloxCity games.
Oh.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
remember-
The whole like 1 year wait for the client and then just releases it and it's got like it's made in like HTML and JavaScript or something. It's like stock Unity water.
I know,
The
right?
text
It was
isn't
so
the text
bad.
isn't even scaled.
Oh man, I remember I made a video about it.
Yeah, I made a video too. It was so
I
bad.
like live streaming. Ugh.
The
Like I
face
was live streaming
glitch.
just hoping it to release, and like I went nuts because I was waiting all night for it. Wouldn't release, even if it said like coming or like today TM instead of soon TM. You know?
Oh my god. So do you remember like when you could set custom colours on BloxCity?
Custom colors.
Yeah,
What's
custom
the-
hex colours for like your
Oh
avatar.
yes! Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then basically, this funny story actually. So I joined one of the amazing BloxCity games
Oh,
that
boy.
Isaac was working on, and Isaac was in the server, and he forced me to change my avatar because I still had custom colours. He didn't like
Oh.
that.
Really? He
Yeah,
forced
Wow.
you? Oh my
He
god!
completely
wow.
ruined the avatar.
God,
Because it
Isaac.
didn't. And get this. The reason he forced me to do it was because it didn't work in the client. It like completely broke the client.
Wow. Such a good
Oh my
client.
God.
My avatar just like didn't load.
Oh my god, it was awful. Wanna know how many codes, like how many lines of code there was to this whole entire client?
It was like 2 or something.
200.
Probably.
Only 200. Literally only 200.
Only
Wow,
200?
amazing
Oh,
client.
that's so bad.
200 lines of code.
That's
And it
horrible.
wasn't even protected. It wasn't even protected. Like you were able to dissect it, right? There had no VM protect, nothing at all to protect the code, the source code from being leaked.
God.
So it was leaked, and from that, people were able to find vulnerabilities, and for a while, the client wasn't even safe to use because people would like, do wacky things. I'm pretty sure remote code execution was even possible at one point.
Probably. Source code being so shitty and short.
Exactly, and just so short and just easily leakable. Oh, oh man, and we were all hyping it up. It took
Yeah,
like a
I
year.
know. He hyped up for like a year, and then it was just terrible.
It was just
It was-
garbage.
it
It
was
was just
horrible.
hot garbage, man.
Like,
also,
I
like,
bet
whole-
the
You continue, right?
alright, I bet the original fucking Brick-Hill client had more lines of code than the BloxCity client. Like,
It did,
jeez,
trust me, it
It
did.
does very much so.
definitely.
It has
Luke-
way more.
Like Luke made, we gotta put this into perspective. He made the client while he was 16 years old. Like, and and from this, the client was way better.
And get this,
City's
he
client
made it in
ever was.
he made it in a 2D game engine. Like
No,
Game
Exactly,
Maker
this is the engine that
8.1
was created in.
Game Maker 8.1 isn't even an engine designed for 3D games mostly. It's mostly for like basic 2D games. Yet somehow he coded like Brick-Hill and added networking and all of this stuff into Brick-Hill.
Yeah,
It's
very
more-
talented guy.
It's more impressive than anything.
And get this. This is the most important thing, I think. He had the client out on like day 1 of public release. The client was
Yeah.
out.
Exactly.
Isaac took like a
Yes.
year to release a client.
And
This client was open as well on the workshop itself was released April 8th before public release. Before beta was closed.
Oh.
Just insane.
Like, I
It's
think
the timer
I think that was one of the main factors of why Brick-Hill grew because it had a client from day one.
Yeah, and it was better than BloxCity's. Everyone was disappointed by BloxCity's client, and then here Brick-Hill comes, it's got a much better client that actually works and doesn't have huge vulnerabilities that are known.
Yeah, it's just insane.
Todd Howard client, it just works.
Yeah, it just works. Yeah, like, and because of that, you know, we used to have a saying, whenever someone wouldn't really deliver on what they were saying, right? We would call it, hey, he heimered us. We were heimered.
Oh my god, heimered.
Heimered.
Yeah, that was the whole saying back in the day.
Remember Isaac? Isaac is not for Isaac.
Remember the whole shower thing?
Oh,
my
yeah,
god,
Isaac,
oh my god.
Isaac's taking a shower.
And you're just taking a forever shower, and that's it. Oh, okay.
Okay, so if I were to talk about like my experience on BloxCity, I wasn't really around there a lot. I only really joined in like November of 2016, and BloxCity shut down sometime in like April 2017 or something. So I was only there for about 6 months, but yeah, I definitely remember the long wait for the client. And funny story actually, this is, well, it's not really funny, but my original username on Brick-Hill, Prevent, that was like the name of my BloxCity alt account. So I just took the name of my BloxCity alt account when it came to choosing a name for my Brick-Hill account.
I still have not figured out what your original BloxCity account was.
Good. My username was so terrible. I hated it so much. I still hate it.
And honestly, I am very glad. Well, I'm not very glad, but I'm glad that the whole database of BloxCity was wiped. Because,
yeah, I am very happy.
Oh my god, I was a oh my, the amount of just.
I was cringe. Then. I was cringe.
Oh yeah, I think we all were. We all were just cringe.
Like I was cringe on the Roblox forums, and this was before I started foruming on Roblox. So this was like, well, not before, but it was like around the same time that I first started foruming on Roblox. So I guarantee all of my posts were terrible.
Awful.
I even remember my submission for that you know, the BloxCity writing contest or whatever that was hosted? I remember my submission. It was so terrible.
God.
I many egg submissions. Oh man, my egg was god awful. It was made in Paint, MS Paint.
I still cannot do concept art.
Me neither, but like I can do
a lot
much
better. I've gotten a lot better at writing and concept art than I was back then.
And
like that's honestly the only green lighting with the shutdown of BloxCity here.
I hated 2017 me. I was like so egotistical. I was just such a dick. Like if you look at my old messages in the Discord, I was just so mean for no reason and cringe.
Me again. I was very cringe, but more cringe on BloxCity. Like there was even one. There's one screenshot of a forum post I made that was floating around on BloxCity because it was, you know, in a video, right? And I was like, "Later, boys," as my stupid Siggy signature, you know.
God.
Oh my god, do you guys
the signatures? Oh boy.
Do you guys like remember when BloxCity was shutting down and then some admin just like made every like unique like $2 or something? No, 2 coins.
I know, right?
And then they released that what was it? Shrek face. I forgot the name.
He also released like Isaac's face on a Sicarius, and then
I remember that.
Yeah. The purple Sicarius finally released.
Yeah, and then the Telemus Sicarius, which was just a black Sicarius, released as well.
Face.
Yeah. No, that was a different one.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, do you guys remember BloxCity Plus, the extension?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do you remember the Christmas event? The one where we had to click little icons all over.
Oh, was it that clan
God.
thing?
The warriors and the whatever.
Yeah, the chefs.
Yeah, the chefs.
I vaguely remember this.
Yeah, and actually, Tetris, Brick-Hill, he made an extension for it. And it's basically, it was 100% like a cheat here, but it was just, the event was just scripted so horribly that you would be able to just make the icons go huge and you just have an auto clicker.
Ow. Thank you. Thank you, Isaac.
An extension like that, and which kind of boosted the chef's popularity rating very fast.
Remember when the chefs won and all we got was just a yellow spatula?
A yellow dinky
the golden spatula.
Piss spatula.
Man, just god awful.
I like how we're talking more about BloxCity than Brick-Hill.
It's the origin point,
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's the introduction episode, so we're just really going over how we found Brick-Hill, what we think about Brick-Hill, and stuff like that in this episode. In future episodes, we're going to be going over more Brick-Hill related subjects, because there's obviously so much we could say about BloxCity on a Brick-Hill podcast.
Yeah, and then we'll have to move on to more Brick-Hill stuff. So let's talk about beta for a bit.
Beta.
I am
completely
completely out of this discussion. Be right back. I am gone.
Yeah, don't you remember when I used to just form way too much?
Oh yeah, weren't you the top former?
Yeah, I was a top former for so long.
You were still a top former outside of there. You try-harded.
But now you're not.
Yeah, well, I'm not anymore, no, of course. But the cool thing about, my forming expenditures was the fact that I was the first user to hit 100 forum posts in the 1,000, so, I'm still clinging on to that with glory. Anyways, another thing, when Ratatouille came along.
Oh my god, didn't he just spam post to get
They were just battling against each other, like it was a whole fiasco, the whole, rivalry.
Yeah, didn't Ratatouille used to spam forum posts to get milestone friends?
Yeah, and then I used to do that. I used to do the same. So the forums are just completely filled with just garbage. At the time, they weren't really moderated. They were not. They had basically almost no rules to them. So you'd be able to just do these horrible posts.
I'm just
imagining forums with clutter. There was one point on the forums where you would all see last replied Blocky, and then you go to the next place. Last replied Blocky.
Last replied Blocky.
Last reply.
Last replied Ratatouille.
Oh.
And then after that, last replied Ratatouille Blocky. Ratatouille Blocky.
God.
And which is what if you go to pin archives, you'll be able to see a message sent by Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, I know
where you live.
That was the origin point of that, and I shot fires at Ratatouille too. So it was something else. It was something else entirely.
That was such a different time.
Yeah, it was very weird. It was so different that everybody used Brick-Hill Hub instead of Off Topic.
Yeah, nobody really took Brick-Hill seriously back then. Everyone just wanted to die out after a week or two.
Everyone just kind of did a thing. And also, something that hurts me is that since nobody really thought Brick-Hill would have lasted too long, King, wanna know how much he gave? Wanna know how much classic specials he gave?
Too many. He gave away a lot.
At one point, he had literally every single special there was, back in, April. What he does with all of them is he gives them all away for $1. Every single last one of them.
He could be the richest user by now.
Blue top hat, everything.
And the best part is he's still richer than me. How?
How?
He gave away everything and he still managed to end up richer.
Exactly, yeah. It's just just imagine how rich he would be if he just kept everything else that he gave away back.
He might even be richer than Zangoose.
No. It's the top. He's 3 million at this point. So
King's still somehow 1 million value. Why?
It's because of the Devil's Smile Hoard. Hoarding is very powerful on Brick-Hill.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He also has Golden Block.
Literally, the economy is kind of filled with the top 5 people don't trade. Don't trade.
Yeah,
they don't trade much of anything. So the
top 5, I think you mean the top 10. No, top 8. Yeah, the top 8 don't trade a lot.
So while the items at the top, like 20% of the economy is owned by like 8 people.
Yeah,
wait
I
for the
think my
day.
market share is. Let me check what my market share is, like right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna real quick. I'm gonna check mine as well. It's in a, but hopefully one day, since the Brick-Hill account.
Yeah, the Brick-Hill account's gonna give away some specials.
Yeah, he owns a lot, so.
I want to get that Cyclops.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah, he's, no way. No, you're not gonna get it. Alright.
Okay, yeah, so my market share is like 2.68% of the market. That's just like completely gone. 2.6%
Right
of
now?
all value.
Like the items that I have right now is 0.90, but on the Peanut account, hold
Oh
on.
my god, the Peanut account.
Peanut, like literally, oh my
Peanut
god.
owns 20% of Golden Buck.
She owns
Yeah.
like 20% of Golden Block at this point, which is kind of mine, but still. I digress. Hold on, it's loading. Yeah, 3.18% of market share is
And Peanut doesn't even trade anything. She completes zero
nothing,
trades.
nothing at all.
It's just
Peanut
gone.
didn't even trade for it. She just got it.
Yeah, I just gave it to her because I hiatus moment.
Yeah.
It's just gone from the economy forever. It's stuck in Peanut's account.
Another thing in beta, I'm Edgar.
Edgar. Oh my god, he spammed my messages in 2017.
Like he was literally the first troublemaker on the site. Like he was.
Yeah, he was a part of the original Troublesome Trio.
Yeah.
You were in at one point. The original 3 trios were you, I think, Energy Cell, and Edgar. Oh, Energy Cell! What a guy!
Yeah, you'll be hearing a lot about Energy Cell in a future episode.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Very interesting person.
With that person, yeah, for sure.
I think people over exaggerate Edgar a bit too much.
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
I don't.
way too much.
There's like a lot of like lore around Edgar. Some people think he like hacked the entire website and deleted the database.
It's like he's like the 1x1x1x1 of
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the dignity of Brick-Hill. People
Dignity,
really,
yeah, he's the dignity
people
of
really
Brick-Hill.
overestimate like what he did. He didn't
Like,
he didn't like delete the website or leak the database or like leak the site code. He did none of that. He didn't.
Yeah,
he
he
didn't
didn't.
even do. A lot of people say he does this actually. So I want to clear up this misconception. A lot of people say like he was responsible for March 23rd, 2017.
No.
He had nothing to do with it.
no
whatsoever.
involvement in it at all.
He wasn't even
only thing-
online that day. I don't think.
Like literally the only thing of note that he did
Yeah,
was
he created the
Well,
deleted
457.
457. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk
that's
about
the-
that later on in future episodes for sure.
Yeah.
Apart from
Yeah.
that, he was just like a script key really who found a few bugs and reported them or abused them.
Yeah.
That's
it's
all.
like
The
cross-site
good old,
scripting.
extensions with
Oh yeah, the account stealing extension. That was probably his
He
most
lost
famous
it.
How was that? I fell victim into that because
Oh.
at the time everyone could have been trusted on Brick-Hill.
Oh my god,
We were
speaking,
just
Yeah.
speaking
all
of
the community,
extensions,
especially during beta, but he made an extension and it stole my Brick-Hill cookie, and yeah.
speaking of extensions, this is a
Put
bit
it
off
around, he
topic.
kinda put on my account.
This
Yeah.
is-
The most he did was just steal some accounts. That's it.
Basically, yeah, and spammed messages, which later on,
Let's not
Rebecca
discuss
here-
this. Let's not discuss this.
Yeah. Not yet.
Not yet. Anyways, it's gonna be discussed.
This is a bit off topic, but speaking about extensions, do you guys remember Golden Brick from like summer 2017?
Brick.
Golden
Yeah.
Brick. That was a
What
very
is
good
it?
extension. It's like the first real Brick-Hill extension that wasn't a
Yeah, that was
cookie
the
logo.
very, very first. And want to know how far back it was conceptualized?
How far back?
March 19th or 20th. Prairie Docs was teasing it.
One
Wow.
day after beta. Wow.
He was teasing it since wow. You'd be able to find 4 threads way back before it was even released.
What features
Jeez.
did Golden Brick even have? I remember it had a feature where you could like create a forum thread or like I remember that, but I don't remember the other features. Did it have like a notifier?
Yeah, and I don't. It had that was the very first notifier. Pretty sure Digimon Face was actually notified through that. That was one of the first ones, I believe. Anyways.
Oh yeah,
But
speaking about Gentleman Face, nobody could buy it for like the entire day because everyone was poor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took the entire day to sell out. It took a 10 stock took the entire day.
Because, and get this, most people aren't going to understand this if like they're a new user or whatever, but I'm going to say this and everyone's going to be confused, but it was $60, right? And at the time that was like rich money. That was like you had royal membership. If you bought that first, you had royal membership. There was no way unless you dropped like $60 on Brick-Hill that you had.
Yeah, I know, right?
A good way to represent it now. Yeah, a good way to represent it now is like say $10 back then used to be $1,000, like is now $1,000 today.
Yeah, so $60 was like $6,000 back then. It was crazy.
Literally, like only the top of the top even reached $100.
Yeah, I think I remember saving up $30 for blue top hat and thinking I was the richest user on the website when I bought that.
And then Gentleman Face.
And like I can tell you, I once, because at the time I was filthy rich. I had 1,000 back then. Ooh.
Ooh.
I was one of the top users with the most bucks with $1,000. Like one of the top 5, I think.
From BloxCity user to a rich Brick-Hill user.
And all thanks to that game pack.
Wow.
That was such a genius idea.
I know, right?
I had a couple of genius ways to get money back then.
You offset.
No way.
Offsider.
No, I'm not an offsider. I am not. No. Okay. So yeah, it's there's a lot of wacky things, and again, like I said, and what we keep repeating, in future episodes, we'll go more in depth within most of the things you mentioned.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We've certainly brushed over a few topics here that in future episodes we're going more in depth in, especially stuff Energy Cell, Edgar, stuff like that. We might do full episodes on those, so stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, or even join the Discord server if you want notifications about new episodes of the podcast.
And later on, this is still an idea and it might not happen for a while, but Blocky drip for
yes, the Blocky merchandise.
Yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that.
The Brickcast Blocky merchandise collaboration.
Yes.
It may happen.
It may happen. So, just to keep you guys on your seats. Anyways. So.
Okay, so with that,
let's just take a break right now. Like, let's just cut this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's going pretty good, pretty nice. So what do you think about all that? Like the topics that we've discussed